Hey guys, and welcome back to The Lookout. So today we're going to be starting our first figure review, starting with what I believe is the best entry-level figure to the line, Son Goku, a Saiyan raised on Earth. This is the new version with the 2.0 fighting body, and at the time of recording is still available for $34.99 at places such as Target. You can still find him for online, however I recommend checking your local Target as they do have him in stock very often and is often available on their website. For this review, we're going to be looking at his articulation, his scale, paintwork, the value you get for your money, as well as more. Also, seeing as this is our first official Figuarts review on the channel, I'm going to give you guys a few pointers, as if you're looking to get into the line, you're going to want to make sure that what you're buying is a legitimate figure and not a bootleg or a counterfeit, as within this line, those are everywhere. So, to get you guys started, once you're buying your first figure, whether it is a Saiyan raised on Earth Son Goku or any other figure of the SH Figuarts line, always make sure to look for this seal of quality right here. This Tamashii Nation seal right here, or Funimation sticker, will go ahead and let you know that what you're buying is a legitimate product that has been inspected for quality control and has been verified to be resold. You also see this. This is the Tamashii Nation seal right here. On newer releases, that is present there, and that lets you know that it is a guarantee of quality, and it is something that no bootleg does have on it. Some bootlegs will attempt to recreate the logos, such as the Dragon Ball franchise, Tamashii Nations, and Bandai. So you want to make sure that the print quality is really high quality, the colors are nice and saturated, because oftentimes on the box, it'll have faded coloring, and that lets you know as well. The Funimation sticker is another great tell. That's usually located either right here or on the bottom. And that lets you know that yes, it is a licensed product that's usually found on figures that are 100% legit. It can be replicated, however, so keep an eye out. If you are in the States, you want to make sure that you see, as this figure has on the back, a bluefin sticker. That lets you know that it is licensed to be distributed. That you are good, you are buying something that is legitimate. So, we're going to crack this boy open and see what he has to offer as an entry-level figure. So here we have Goku outside of the packaging, and right off the bat, the first thing you notice is that it is a very nicely done shade of orange, as well as it does feature multiple shades of blue. So taking a look at this orange, you'll notice there is just a little bit of shading right here around the chest area, as well as right around those knees. So that does help a little bit with the shadow play, especially when he's under harsher lighting within your display. As for the blue, you'll notice that he does have darker navy right here around the chest, as well as some darker navy right around the edges of his shirt. He has some lighter blue right here around the wrist guards and right here around the belt area. So that really adds some really nice variety. You can tell that while it is in part due to the plastic they molded it in, it also shows a little bit of creativity and helps it be a little bit more accurate to the source material. He does have some very nicely painted yellow decals on his boots right here. Let me bring him closer to the camera for you guys. And the ties on his boots are done well. So they look nice, the red is done very nicely, and he does have orange soles, which the initial Goku release had yellow ones. However, both can be accurate to the source material depending on which you're looking at. Something to note though is that his kanji symbol right here on his gi, it is a light sand color. It is not white on the front and on the back, and that provides a very nice look to it. It works very well with the orange, and it's very nicely done. It's not as bold as the white, so it flows and it all looks a little bit more put together. Alrighty. Now, the most important thing when you're buying a figure is you're buying it to represent the character you know and love. So, let's take a look at his face and see how well he represents Goku. So, bringing him a little closer, let's take a look at that face. And I can definitely say that this is one of the best, if not the best, face sculpts for Goku. His hair mold is amazing, it's very accurate to that source material, and for an entry-level figure that retails at $35, this is definitely worth your money so far. We're going to take a look at what accessories he comes with to kind of further that, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at articulation after that. So going ahead and taking a look at the faces that he does come with a total of 4, which for a $35 figure I definitely feel is worth the value. He has a smiling face, he has a serious face looking straight on, he has a gritting teeth face which is looking off to his left, as well as having a yelling face. So you can have him posed as if he's in a great mood, serious, mid-fight, or powering up, This is plenty of variety, especially for Goku. This does cover almost all of the emotional spectrum that he does use in the show. So for a base form Goku, this is definitely a great set to have. He does come with 8 hands, which is more than enough. He has these 2 sort of clenched open hands, which are very nicely done. They can be used to recreate the Kamehameha, or any other signature move you might need. He doesn't have any open palm blasting hands, so you'll have to work with what you've got. However, again, this is a $35 figure. He does come with 2 fists, obviously a necessity for the figure. He comes with 2 martial arts pose hands, which are very useful for recreating his signature fighting stance. For those of you who don't know it, I'll flash it real quick on the screen. He has 1 instant transmission hand, so you can go ahead and place it on his forehead and recreate that. It's very nicely done. And he does come with a sort of waving hand, which alternatively can also be used as a karate chop hand. Now, again, this is a $35 entry-level figure, so you're definitely getting what you pay for, and you have more than enough variety to create tons and tons of iconic poses. Alright guys, so we are going to take a look at his articulation. We have Goku here ready to show us what he can do. So let's get started. So right off the bat, we'll just have him pose there. His head. Now you do get looking down all the way. He can look back if you want him to look up. And he does have some side to side. However, that is limited just a bit, and I'll show you why that is. So if you pop off his head, not to traumatize the kids, he does have a little ball hinge down there. Now, this design works. I'm not going to sit here and preach about how it should be a double ball peg. I'm going to review it for how it is. So, you'll notice it goes forward and back, however it doesn't go side to side. That's because it has to rotate. So, instead of telling you guys how it's very limited, I will just remind you to apply pressure to the head as you spin it, so that, look at that, once you actually put effort, he goes really well posed. Again, yes, it could be a double ball peg, but the one he's on, a ball hinge, works just fine. So his arms, they are a little bit limited if you tuck them under here. They do horizontal. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they don't have that range. Look at the difference. If you take the time to put the shirt over, notice, look at that. Look at the main difference. The limit that he has right here pretty much goes away the second you actually put effort into posing it. Now, he does get a full rotation, as expected. His elbows are double jointed, so you do get better than 90 degrees. There you go. His wrists are on ball hinges, so you get movement. They work as well as any regular wrist should. You're not going to be doing anything crazy with the wrists regardless. As long as you can get him into a pose for a Kamehameha, you're good. Now, he is limited around the torso area though. You'll notice, let me hold him steady. That's his ab crunch. Not the best. Leaning back, not bad. But if you lift the figure up, he is on a hinge, so he can lean just a little bit more forward. Again, it is not the best. It's a $35 figure, guys. Work with the hips if you really want him leaning down. However, speaking of the hips, they work great. All the way forward. Not a problem. Going back. Let me go ahead and do that. Not a problem. All the way back. They are a little bit limited going out to the side, but again, that is because of the engineering. It is still a plastic figure you're working with. He will suffice for a sidekick. You don't need to worry about it. His knees, they are double jointed. They do look a little bit clunky, but again, that's sacrifices you have to make for engineering if you want this kind of range. As for his ankles, they move barely up or forward and back, I should say. It'll do what you need it to do, but it could be better. The ankle rocker, however, it's not bad. It's nothing fancy, but it does work. And he does have a toe hinge. It is just a little bit loose. Especially with time, it'll loosen, so try not to rely too much on it, or you'll find yourself taking some shelf dives. I should also mention that his little belt, it does swivel around, so you can have him look like if he's posing in the wind. So, all in all, I think this is a great figure. I think it's absolutely worth $35, seeing as you get 4 faces, 8 hands. It is a great figure. Pick him up if you can. He is still available at Target. You will have a ton of fun with him, you'll have plenty of poses with him, and you will definitely feel like if you got your money's worth. This is a perfect place to start. You will not be disappointed. Again, I want you guys to know that these are action figures, so you do have to work with them to pose a little bit. So, with that said, thank you so much for stopping by the Lookout, and we're going to go ahead and have another review out next Friday. Thanks so much, guys!